Hello, it's Constable Kara Hagan with Lethbridge Police Service, and on this segment of Cop Beat with community producers, I'm going to interview Constable Ryan Dara, and we're going to talk about how to prevent your bike from being stolen and what to do once your bike is stolen. Thanks for joining me today, Constable Dara.
You're welcome, Kara.
So, Constable Dara, what can I do to make my bike secure in a public place?
By making sure that you have a proper chain on your bike at all times. If you have your bike at home, keeping it out of sight, not on a deck or any plain line of sight that anyone can see your bike as they walk by or drive by. And always making sure that you have it locked up, whether it's at home or out in a public place, by utilizing some of the downtown or business locations that have specific bike centers where you can pull your bike in, lock them up with a quality chain through the frame of the bike as well as through one of the wheels. In some cases, some people take the front wheel off, put it on the back or next to the back and lock it all up as one item. That is definitely a deterrent for bike thieves who are rampant in our city lately.
Perfect. Okay, and then what happens if my bike is stolen? Then what do I do?
If your bike is stolen, immediately go to the Lethbridge Police Service website. You can complete an online form to basically describe your bike, explain where it was stolen from, how it was stolen. Any descriptors you have on your bike is always a good thing. And just provide as much information as you can.
Okay, so what specifically would you like to see on that report?
One of the biggest things that us as the police service have here in Lethbridge is getting bikes back to the proper owners. And partially that is because the information that we receive from people when there is a complaint is quite limited. If you have a picture of your bike, that's great. As you can see, my bike here has some specific items like a Canada flag, a nice carrying package on the back, and some descriptors like Lethbridge Police would be helpful. Know the name brand of your bike and the make and model if you can. By far the most useful thing we have is knowing or having the serial number for your bike written down somewhere. The serial number is almost always located on the bottom of the crankcase, sometimes right in here on the stem portion. Just write that down, take a photo of it with your smartphone, take a photo of your bike with your smartphone, just in case this happens to you, because it helps us help you get your bike back if it is recovered.
Perfect. Ryan, do you have anything else that you want to add that you feel that people should know pertaining to this?
If your bike is stolen, contact us, complete that online report. If you have any suspects or anybody that you think may be involved, please provide that to us. And feel free to stop by the police station. On the west side of the station, there's a bit of a bike depot where we have a large collection of recovered bikes that have been stolen or dumped anywhere across the city. And see if your bike is there. Go by the second-hand shops, the pawn shops, any type of business that resells used bikes, because that is the main goal of these people who are taking the bikes, is to sell them for some type of monetary gain.
Perfect. Thank you very much. There you have it. You can come down to the police station periodically to check and see if that bike was recovered. But if you have that online form completed with as much detail as possible, there's a very likely chance that we will contact you as long as we can identify you as the owner of your bike. So, Constable Dara, I understand that you have some recovered bikes here that you're going to tell us about what happened to them.
That is correct. We have 3 bikes here that have been recently recovered, and as you can see, they've been altered by having the paint scraped off of them. And in these 2 BMX bikes, they've specifically been painted different colors by the subjects who stole the bike to try and camouflage or hide the descriptive factors on that bike to make them look a little bit different, so that if the owner sees the bike riding down the streets, it can be hard to determine if that was your bike that the subject is riding. And when it's recovered by the police, this may go into our evidence manager system as a red bike, when originally it may have been purple or green or whatever it may have been before the paint was scraped off and it was very fancily spray painted. And once again, on all 3 of these bikes, we have ran the serial numbers on them and they didn't correspond with any reports of stolen bikes in the past. I can't stress enough that if your bike is stolen, please have your serial number written down and provide us with that, because that makes our job a lot easier to return bikes to the proper owners, which is what this is all about.
So even if my bike is stolen, paint scraped off, repainted, if I have that serial number written down, you're gonna be able to get me that bike back.
Definitely. What we can do is call you on the phone number you provide to us on your original online report of your stolen bike, and we can get that bike back to you in a timely fashion.
Perfect. Would a picture of my bike be helpful as well? If I can provide a picture with the serial number onto that online report, would that be helpful at all?
Yeah, any individual characteristics being markers on the bike like we mentioned before. On this bike we have some posts on the front axle used for bunny hops, for trick bike, that kind of stuff. It's also very helpful for individual characteristics that you can identify on your bike. So the more the merrier. There's no such thing for too much information for the police.
Perfect. So there you have it. Put as much information as you can, be as detailed as you can on that online report. Please keep track of your serial number. That is the most important part of the bike for us to get it back to you.